They don't want to see us win, prosper, and they'll do anything in their power to stop that. To them, we're not even considered human beings. It's time we stand together. Yeah.
Peace and power, my brothers and my sisters. You're listening to The Midnight Advocate, where legal wisdom meets soul truth and justice finds its midnight voice. I'm Lucious Conway, your brother on the night watch, walking beside you in the shadow of injustice into the sunshine of justice revealed. Tonight's truth is this: discrimination in the workplace and housing and services may wear a quiet face, but it leaves loud wounds. And you do not have to take it lying down. Whether it's racism on the job, retaliation after reporting harassment, or being passed over because of who you are, there is a system to fight back. It's called filing a discrimination complaint. And we're talking tonight about how to do just that through the EEOC, that's the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission, or the MCRD, which is the Michigan Civil Rights Department. It's midnight. Let's talk truth. A brother I knew, a hardworking, steady brother, he had just gotten a promotion. 1 week after that, he overhears some coworkers making jokes, racist jokes. He reported it. Human Resources said they'll look into it. You know how that goes. 2 weeks later, the brother was demoted. Then he was eventually written up, and then he was terminated, fired. When he came to me, he wasn't looking for revenge. He wanted some respect. We didn't scream. We didn't threaten. We did what they didn't expect us to do. We filed. Dates, witnesses, text messages, emails, we gathered all of it. We filed with the EEOC and the MCRD. It took time, yeah. It took follow-up, yeah. But that employer had to answer. I'm happy to report that brother got a settlement. But more than that, he got justice. Because when you put your story on paper, you stop it from being erased. That's why this episode matters. Discrimination unchecked becomes normalized. But the moment you write it down, the moment you file it and speak it out, you change the whole game. Filing a discrimination complaint is a form of legal resistance. Not ever about getting back. It's about documenting the wrong that was done to you. Sure, if you have been mistreated at work, if you've been denied a job, or harassed at work, or pushed out for your race, or your gender, or your disability, or your age, or your religion, or anything protected by law, you have the right, and to us black folk as a community, the obligation to speak up and speak out before it happens to any of the rest of us, because your complaint could turn the tide of the environment at that workplace, so another one of us won't have to suffer through that. Our advocacy word tonight: if they silence you in the meeting, answer them in writing. If they retaliated in the office, respond through the law. And if you've been wrong, don't just cry about it. Let's file for justice. In our Midnight Law Brief, we're going to look at that topic, how to file a discrimination complaint, EEOC or MCDR. There are 3 steps to filing a strong complaint. First of all, you want to document the discrimination. Write everything down. Write what happened, who was involved, when it happened. Save all the emails, all the text messages, all the performance reviews. If you can, take photos, take recordings of conversations, anything that supports your story. Identify if the issue is based on a protected class status. If you believe that the evidence is going to show that it was because you were black, or because you were a senior, or because you were a male, you want to identify that. You want to choose the right agency. Now, the EEOC is a federal agency, and so it handles federal discrimination claims, which are workplace-based for companies with 15 or more employees. You file a Michigan Civil Rights Department complaint if it's just a state level, private or public. And if it's a public agency, you can file in both places. But the ones that handle more specifically, as I indicated, federal handles federal, EEOC, and then Michigan Civil Rights Department handles cases in Michigan with 15 or fewer employees. But you are free in Michigan to file in both places. And the Michigan Civil Rights Department focuses on housing discrimination, education discrimination, job discrimination, and any kind of public accommodation discrimination. Of course, on the upcoming slide, you're going to find a tiny URL, which will take you to the spot you need to be in order to get that ball rolling, forms, etc. that need to be completed. You don't need a lawyer to file. All you need are the facts and some courage. You're going to have to file within a deadline, and this is very important. When you're filing an EEOC complaint, you want to file within 180 days of the event. And that is what? Approximately 6 months in, roughly, or 300 days if your state also covers it. For a Michigan civil rights complaint, you want to file within 180 days as well of the act of discrimination. So don't let all that time go by, all those weeks, all those days go by, and you've been discriminated against. You know you have evidence that you have, and you haven't filed. You want to go ahead and file. Don't wait, you got to get that paper trail started. Some key phrases that you're going to be using in your filing are, I believe I was discriminated against based on race, or based on sex, or based on my age, or based on my disability. You're going to indicate that in your documentation. Or you're going to say, this was retaliation after I filed a report with HR about some racial jokes they were saying in the office. Or you're going to use phrases like, I am seeking to file a formal charge of discrimination. But you'll see all of that in the link that you're going to go to. And of course, you can always go to chatgpt.com and type in, how do I file a discrimination complaint in Michigan? And it's going to roll out a whole lot of information. Take your time, go through it, get help if you need it. Just for your information, FYI, you can reach the EEOC at eeoc.gov. You can reach the Michigan Civil Rights Department at michigan.gov/ it's actually the Michigan Department of Civil Rights, so MDCR. The ACLU in Michigan is ACLU-mich.org. And of course, the tiny URL on the screen that you will see very shortly. Don't let injustice fade into your memory. Turn it into a record. Start your complaint by using the tiny URL that's on the slide in front of you. Our spiritual food tonight comes from Psalm chapter 103, verse 6. The Lord works righteousness and justice for all who are oppressed. We serve a God who records every tear and every injustice. I said he records. That means he keeps track of, he writes down. And he calls us to do the same. Write down every tear, every injustice. Filing a complaint isn't about anger, it's about honesty. When you document what happened to you, you say, this wasn't right, and you take steps to remedy that. In this way, you're aligning yourself with heaven's justice as well, and perhaps helping someone else avoid that situation. Your paperwork is a prayer in process. If tonight's episode did stir something in you, a job you left in shame, a meeting that broke your spirit, a complaint you were too afraid to write, brother, sister, now is the time. Name it, write it down, file it, and share that tiny URL link. Because silence will never protect you in this circumstance. A paper trail has a far better chance. And if you can't do it alone, then don't. Let someone walk beside you. I've given you a list of resources, and your Midnight Advocate's always here to help. We don't just file complaints. We're filing for justice. Let's do it together. Now, let's pray this thing out. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he bless your memory, your courage, and your power to speak. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May grace soften the pain of what you faced and strengthen your resolve to rise. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Peace that comes not from ignoring injustice, but from facing it in truth, in faith, and with facts. Rest well, my beloved brothers and sisters. We rise at midnight, and this is the Midnight Advocate.